Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back on EGL. We are once again at Sochi, Russia, and today at Friday evening it is the No Assist tier. And I am Icewind, and joining me in the commentary booth today is Kebab. Good evening to you, Kebab, and all the viewers as well.
Good evening to everybody. Yep, a special hello to Tipsy Bob's mum, who seems to be watching for second time this week. Looking to see how well her son's going to be doing in the race, I wonder. But yeah, looking forward to it. Russia's bit of a DRS train, as it says there, kind of thing, so it can be a tricky one for overtakes. But if we see some gaps develop, we might see some action on track. But yeah, everything else is pretty easy about Russia. Easy strategy. The only thing that's really tricky about it is that sector 3, which is horrible, really nasty track.
Indeed, and you sort of mentioned that the few pointers that I had listed here. So yeah, the DRS train is gonna be like a very key here, and as we talked with you before the race already, like managing your fuel, ERS, and actually hanging in that DRS is gonna be like really important because you get so much effect of the toe on DRS on this track, especially, yeah. I would say. One other thing, that tire wear, if we go in the dry, let's see what happens here. But tire wear is basically non-existent on this track, so like soft, medium. You can basically do like the entire race on the mediums, I think. And
yeah, it looks like it's going to be a dry qualifying by the looks of my screen. But please let us know in chat if anybody knows any of the wiser about the race or if anything's going to change. It's nice to have that info in the commentary booth.
And sort of the peak here before we actually head into the, well, there's nobody really on track yet, so we have a few minutes to check the championship standings here as well. So Tipsy Bob is leading the championship of this new No Assist tier. Grenade Joran has been right on his heels pretty much every race, and they've kind of traded blows the first few races of this new tier that we've had running for. Is this the 5th race or something like that? I'm not even sure, but 5th I think it is. Maybe.
4th, yeah, 5th, something like that kind of thing. I'm not sure, but because I'm not even sure which race we started at. Anyway,
Hungary, I think it was. Yeah.
Is it Hungary?
I think
that sounds about right.
But yeah, Joran is not here today, so Tipsy has a good chance of solidifying his lead in the championship today.
Yeah, and yeah, these guys set kind of the marker essentially for no assist drivers coming in here and trying their hand at it. Because we're going to have a few names that on that list there who are not full-time drivers giving it a go, and obviously if they can kind of beat these guys at the top of this championship, then we'll be looking to push those guys into tier 1. Open to everybody and all the tiers of SRL.
Yep.
As well. And, yeah. Guys coming out of the pit now. So yeah, looks like everybody's going for the softs. It's going to go an easy soft, medium, like we said, kind of thing. So most people, I think, are going to be looking to qualify as well as they can on the softs. Nobody's going to go for the medium to try and start high up on that, like the reverse strat. I don't think. Although the reverse strat, I think, is very powerful around here compared to other tracks.
It is indeed, but if you sort of the mediums are so much slower on the tire delta than the softs that it is gonna be really tricky to actually qualify high up on the grid on the mediums, because there's like, I think, over a second between them or something like that. So it's quite tricky, and also at the start of the race for the first 4 or 5 laps the softs are quite a lot faster. So yeah, I think we're gonna see just about everybody qualifying the softs, because yeah, no real downside to doing it on this track.
So I am furious. He's going to be the first to cross the line. This guy's been quick in races that I've seen him in, but prone to penalties as well, though, and maybe the odd mistake here or there as well. But he's going to get the first lap in if he completes it in this qualifying session.
Yeah, would you like to take us through that, Kebab? Maybe just let's see what the lap of the Sochi track looks like.
Yeah, breaking hard down into turn 1 and 2 there. You get great traction on the exit there, kind of thing, to get this all the speed you can down this route on this long left-hander kind of thing. And the next two corners, you kind of drop down to fourth for each of them, kind of thing. A lot of trail braking involved here, kind of thing, and I get it early on the power, but very easy to lose it, especially in that one there, turn 5, I think that is, or turn 4. But now next a sweeping sector kind of thing here, very high speed corners here. All about just carrying as much speed as you can through here. Got to keep it tight on the exit on this one. You don't want to go too wide, costs too much time. And a late break here, he does it perfectly there on that spot on that white line, down onto the back straight here, where it's again just another time to relax at Russia. 2 long straights here, plenty of time for that. And yeah, braking marker here, breadboard on the right side, trying to trail brake as much as you can here. I try and keep it in third around this sector, but he goes a bit wide there with second. And here comes the tricky third sector here. This crest here on the inside is horrible. Pushes you wide and deep all of the time, as it does there. I am furious. But he gets a decent exit there, but maybe not as quick as you would like. Again, final last 2 corners. You want to ride this curb a lot and try and cut that as close to the apex as possible. The quick doesn't quite get it there. A 132.1, so not the quickest time that we've seen in the tiers this week at all, but yeah, Tilde beats that with a 31.7.
Yeah, Tilde going fastest for now. His yeah, and Ocean Chief also crossing the line for a 32 flat, goes P2. So pretty tentative laps, the first ones from these guys, and maybe just to get a time on the board. Curse sets a 153.1. That's that's a mistake, I think, on that lap.
Yeah, I think you might have spun or come off at some point to set something like that, but just wants to put the time on the board anyway for the Delta maybe. Yep. But Tipsy Bob there with a 131.5 takes pole, and yeah.
It looks like I'm not getting the the notif. Oh, there we go. Actually, so maybe I've just fixed it by pressing S once. So. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't getting the notifications, but yeah, Tipsy 31.5 provisional pole. And Sonny 31.1, so once again Sonny showing really good qualifying pace.
Yep, that's, I hope he can keep it together for the race itself. But, he's going to have some challenges for that top spot, I think, because the track is going to get quicker. And so are these guys are going to be putting more effort into the coming laps. I suppose, but the odd invalidation could mean that somebody starts outside where they would like to be.
Yeah, Lavisa Sole invalidated. Oh, and he actually crashes onto the main straight and loses a wheel by that. So that's the end of his qualifying. He did set a time at least, but oh no. So sort of just a little bit too wide on the curb on the exit there, and rear wheel caught the curb, and a little bit of wheel spin, and yeah, onto the wall, into the wall rather.
This is only in qualifying and not the race. Hopefully he can keep it together for the race, but he is going to be starting, well, he's set a time though, so he might not start at the very back if other people don't set a time, but that remains to be seen. 11 minutes to go.
Yep, Julius starting his lap really struggles to get the car stopped into turn 1 and goes very deep there, so that's not the ideal line to get through there. See what he can do. There's a Mercedes ahead of him on track, but he gets nicely out of the way. That's Curse. And Julius 34 flat, so that's about a second off the provisional pole lap, I think, in Sector 1. So the mistake in turn 1 definitely cost him. And he also ends up a little bit too far on the curb and invalidates this lap.
Yeah. I think currently it's only Girler out on track at the moment doing an outlap.
Triton actually starting one, I think. Yep.
Oh yeah, Triton just started. Yeah, so he has. So yeah, some chatting, talking Discord chat before the race about whether or not Triton would dominate here, as he is a regular in Tier 1. He's invalidated this one, and yeah, so it's yet to set a time. So
yeah, I think it
was
running
out for him.
About matching what Tipsy Bob did in the sector 1, that's 33 flat for him. So yeah, he's I don't know if Triton is gonna dominate. I think we'll give him the chance to show that today. If he dominates, I think we in this tier. If we have a too fast guy, we're gonna send them into tier 1 instead, as you kind of already mentioned earlier. So yeah, who is this? Gerla, maybe. Gerla also 33 flat into sector 1. A good started a lap for him. Doesn't have a time on the board yet. Gerla on the back straight, PRS open.
Yep.
See what he can do. 4.6.
Gerla's had some decent results here in SLR Tier, and it's proved to have some pace even without the line. I've been very impressed by it.
Yeah, I think he's committed this season to drive without the line and basically drive without the assists completely, so I can always get behind that.
Yeah, and, I know your feelings about the line. The line made them very clear in the past. But yeah, it's a very different ball game when you're playing without the assists kind of thing. So good to see Gerla, who puts himself P3 with a 31.4. So yeah, not bad at all. So the Red Bull boys, yeah, really challenging here at the top each time in qualifying. But so far, I don't think their races have come together quite as they would like.
No,
Christian
definitely
Horner
not.
Disappointed with that, I'm sure.
Yeah, both of them kind of have been involved in a few incidents and a few spins on their own as well. So not quite the results that their pace would suggest. But yeah, it's struggling a little bit with consistency. Let's see if they can put a result on the table here at Russia today. Furiosus is on a lap here. He's marginally up into sector 1. Let's see what he can do into sector 2. He's 3/10 up here, so possibly into this very tight pack, let's say from P2 to P6. Let's see what he can do in the final sector here, and goes really deep into that tricky chicane. As you said, that the camber in that corner is really horrible, and it kind of, I don't know, feels I've never really found a good way to drive through there. Oh, and he also spun.
Final corner, but he sets the time anyway. Puts himself P5, but yeah, he'll be back to the pits with damage for the rest of this lap. And he might not get time to set another one. But yeah, back to that corner. It is, I think, by far the worst corner on the calendar. It is horrible in every sense of the word, kind of thing. The way it rises up, kind of thing. So you feel as though you can brake late, but if you try that, like, you suddenly lose all grip on the crest of that little bump on the inside of the curb, kind of thing, and the camber's rolling away from the apex as well. So it's really hard to keep tight there, and if you don't keep tight, it just costs you so much time. And if you get it wrong and you try and correct it in any which way, kind of thing, then the camber of the corner and the lack of grip, kind of thing, is just a recipe for disaster, and very easy to spin the car.
Yeah, indeed, and like sort of like working around with the setup there, you sort of want to get more turn in, but when you end up doing that, you sort of probably end up with a very, very loose rear end, and then it'll just rotate too much there again, and it's a really tricky one to get it right. Shakalaka decides to pit instead of finishing that lap. He wasn't happy with that.
I think Tipsy Bob invalidated his run, as did Tilda, so they'll be both come out again pretty quick and get a lap set. Yep. Sonny at the moment with a 31 flat leading the pack.
Yeah, so Sonny's actually improved by a 10th somewhere along the way there. Curse currently sitting in P2 on a lap here. He was like a couple of 100s down in sector 1, but I think like sector 2 and 3 are the and kind of gets it all wrong coming back to onto the back straight, and it's probably cost him some time. Let's see what the clock thinks of that, and he's actually 2/10 up, so I don't know, could he possibly threaten Sonny here with a very good final sector?
Yeah, I suppose he could. Depends on how much time he's left on the board here, but that looked,
yeah.
looked like too tight line, I was going to say. A very tight line, I was going to say, but it was too tight in the end. So he's abandoned it, and he's going straight into the pit to see if he can get out for another one. Triton did manage to set a time in the end, a 31.6. Yeah. Don't think he's going to have time to get back to the pit and set another one, but looks like he's staying in this one. He's going to go for a second run on these softs, which...
Yeah,
oh no, this might be his final lap.
It's really tight anyway. There's about a minute extra on the clock that we can see because of the amazing spectator glitch that they still haven't been able to fix. For I don't even know how many games is that in a row now, but anyway. It is like, really it is really difficult to make a synced clock, right?
Strange seems to be going on with
Girl.
Maybe it's not.
Yep, Girl improving by a tenth in Sector 1, by the way, so maybe he can possibly threaten even his teammate at the top of the list at the moment. And you were talking about something strange going on? What was that?
Yeah, just a bit of a jerkiness on my stream kind of thing, but I think it's just my end kind of thing rather than the actual stream, because everything seems fine. But yeah, never mind. Yeah, let's see.
2/10.
Yeah, Girl on a charge at the moment, coming at that once more, that tricky left-hander. See how he manages to navigate it. Again, gets pushed wide, deep. It's horrible that because it just compromises you so much for the next corner, which is vital to get a good exit out of. Attention.
Girl out of the final corner onto the straight. The line is straight ahead of him, and he goes P3. So he does improve and jumps curse, but not any more than that. And Ocean Chief actually, when did he do that?
31 flat. So
completely missed that.
Taking this claim, we've got Tipsy Bob in the final sector now as well, and again he gets caught out by the camber on that nasty corner, and he comes into the pit, so he doesn't look like he's going to improve. Is he going to have time to get out again?
No, I don't think so. No way.
2.5 minutes, probably not. No.
I think he's definitely out of time here. So it's going to take probably another minute, and then there's like I don't think he's going to make it out. Let's see. It's going to be really tight anyway, but I don't think that's going to happen. Who else can we pick up? Is Tilde maybe?
Tilde's on a lap at the moment. Yeah, he's marginally up 300ths at the moment in Sector 1. But keeping it clean so far.
Yeah, Tilde also one of these guys who's really had pace but kind of missed that consistency. He was especially fast in Singapore, but unfortunately a few spins kind of cost him quite a lot in that race. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's been doing well in Nana Tier.
3 up as well.
I've seen him with some real pace without the line.
They could possibly threaten even the top 5 here, and also runs a little deep into that chicane, and that's a bit too much curb on the apex there, and he's also out of time. Then anybody actually
has managed to put himself P4 there with a 131.17, so it's quite tight at the top here.
It is.
You have to say. Only a couple of tenths separating the top 4-5.
Yeah, 1.5 tenths from P1 to P4 at the moment, and then Sonny and Ocean Chief I think still have one attempt to go here. Yeah, I guess we're just waiting for the final laps to start. Torska actually might be. Oh, and he's actually well off the track there when I put the camera on him, and he's also invalidated there. So.
Yeah, and I think Tipsy Bob's out on track at the moment, but he's rushing around as fast as he can. But I don't think he's gonna make it.
Yeah,
he's on the back straight now, and if there's only 30 seconds to get to the end, it's going to be nowhere near enough time, I think.
Yeah, I think Ocean actually, or is maybe somebody Triton ahead of him maybe on a lap here. So let's try and keep an eye on both of them. Let's see what Triton can do into Sector 1. Triton, that's invalid for Triton, so Triton's qualifying is done there. Then Ocean Chief, the next car behind him on a lap. And, Ocean keeps it nicely on in the confines of the track there, and he's 10th down though into Sector 1. So
I wonder if you can find time elsewhere. Sonny is a 10th up into Sector 1, so he's looking good to snatch pole today.
Yeah, 32.7 as well for Sonny into Sector 1. That's a really strong Sector 1 for Sonny. He's almost 2/10 up on Chief there, so
Tipsy Bob did make it in the end. He managed to start a lap.
Yeah, just about. It must have been like seconds on
Must
the
have been
clock.
1 or 2 seconds on the clock as he crossed the finish line there, I think.
And Ocean Chief is 1/18 of a second up in Sector 2, so could he possibly snatch a provisional pole from Sonny here with a good final sector? He was a little bit out of touch in that tricky chicane, so let's see what he can do. He comes across the line now, and it is marginally better for Chief, but it's not enough to overtake Sonny.
Yep, Sonny about to cross the line now as well. Comes around that final sector, gets very nice and tight there on the final corner and sets a 30.8. It does improve. So he sets a real marker there for Tipsy Bob, who's coming in at the final sector now. Kind of heat challenge. I'm not sure what his deltas were throughout the lap, but we'll find out. Crosses the line. Brakes late for that one. Takes a lot of curve, and again, very tight on the inside there, and spins it across. Not sure what he did.
I think he did a 31.3, but did he actually? Maybe he got one position, yeah.
31.3.
Might have jumped whoever it was ahead of him. Yeah, he jumped Kurz with that, but
just jumped Kurz, yeah. So, but not enough to challenge Paul. But so Sonny looks like he's got a couple of tenths over the rest of the field. Is this his race where he can run away with it, or is he going to have another spin out on his own and end up at the back again?
Yeah, Ocean Chief kind of a surprise P2 for me, because he was kind of downplaying his chances, and I think that is actually a PB for Chief, because I've seen him do like a 31.4 or something earlier this week, but that is definitely, I think, a PB for Chief. So he's also looking strong today. Always nice to see.
I had a great battle with him in Tier 4 until tragedy struck.
Yeah, I was following that closely. It was a very nice battle until that point. And it looks a bit gloomy, but I think it's dry for now at least.
It does look very cloudy, yeah. It does look dry though. Don't think we're going to have intermediates at the start at least, but could that change? Anybody in chat let us know.
Did we get any info about the weather? Maybe a Tipsy, if you're listening, can you drop us some information? Is it gonna be dry throughout, or do we have a threat of rain for the race? Or Joel, or
those
whoever
clouds
is
certainly
watching.
Look ominous. That has to be said. Yeah, that could very much spice things up, but make it also difficult to overtake. But obviously, people have only done that practice in the dry. Some people may not fare that well in the wet weather conditions.
Yeah, and the in-game, well, I'd say that's once in a lifetime that the in-game strategy suggestion is actually right. So it was suggesting soft medium, and yeah, that's what we are. Yeah, provided it's dry, of course. It's gonna be easy. Probably the easiest soft medium, I think, on the calendar. So.
Yeah, so tyres then, almost everybody's gone for the softs. Torska, the only one out of the back 5-6 drivers that have opted for the softs. Everybody else going in for the mediums there. Yeah,
and it's going to be interesting. I know Barassin has had, traditionally when I've watched these races, he's had a really decent race pace, so could he hang on to that soft train on those mediums? Let's see.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Barassin, I've seen because I've been racing with these guys up until this point.
Yep.
He generally has one over me on track each time I see him near me. So yeah, I expect him to maybe do well on those mediums, fronting the medium pack. Yeah, anything can happen at the start. This long straight at Russia is very conducive to overtaking, should we say. So it gives a big draft to those behind and can cause havoc lap 1, turn 1, because that is a very tight braking zone. You can't fit 2 cars through there very easily.
Yeah, and even though the track is quite wide there, did you watch the Tier 2 race? There was a massive crash at the start there for four wide and yeah, 2 deaths.
I didn't know, but yeah, it's not something that's unusual to see at Russia, is it? So, but yeah, we've got the guys round in the final corners now of the formation lap to get us underway. Do you want to take the start away?
I can try. I was kind of thinking that you're probably better than me for that, but I can try. So, yep, let's see. So the Oscar Julius is actually a little bit away from Torska here, but
yeah,
also approaching the grid. So the first cars are already on the grid, waiting for that. And I think in real life they would have quite cold tires at this point, but in game I think it sort of locks it when the AI takes control of your car on the formation lap. But yep.
Pretty sure it does, yeah. It's a good thing it does too, just to avoid people taking the Michael, essentially.
But yeah, we are about to get going, so it's 5 lights in game, but I think we're gonna get a little bit of a wait as traditionally, and we got a lot of jump starts now. Oh my word! What is that actually true? Top 4 are getting a jump start. What on earth happened there? So Sonny does take the jump on the start, but all of these guys are going to have to serve a drive-through penalty in the first 3 laps, and big battling at the background there. Curse challenging Easy, I think it is. So, oh my god, what happened there?
Barasin also at the back gets the drive-through, but for 4 drivers all get drive-through penalties. What on earth? I've never seen anything like it in all my days commentating, but yeah. Outcome of this is going to be that Kurz is going to inherit the lead after lap 1 most likely, as most of these guys are going to come in and serve that penalty as quickly as possible. And yeah, we're going to have a relatively clean start other than that, and we've got like a train now of drivers.
Yeah, I'm kind of flabbergasted about that. I've never really seen anything like that either. I think once in an EGL tournament we had like 2 or 3 guys get a jump start, but not 5. So that's surprising. Torska, by the way, up 5 positions also at the back of the field on those softs.
Easy managed to end up dropping back a few positions there, but I imagine at least one of those positions was to Tipsy Bob, who got a drive-through in the process. So you'll claw one of those back. Shaka down into last place now as something happened to him. He looks like he's missing some wing. So yeah, something's happened there. There's some more wing on the track. There's somebody else missing some wing. I'm not sure who it is. Kersey, by the look of things, who's coming into the pits. As well as Barasin, who will be serving his drive-through, I imagine.
Yeah, and all those other 4 guys along with them. So Curse, Furiosus, Easy, Triton, Tilde, Torska, and so on continue the race. And yeah, this is gonna cost a lot of time for these guys, because the pit lane in Russia is notoriously slow as well. So
yeah, very long one. Yeah, and so yeah, that's what. But now that the quickest guys, the 4 or 5 quickest guys are at the back of the field, you've got to say that this is going to hopefully make for some great and very interesting racing. As we've still got pit stop changes to come through as well, and Lavi Vasol currently top of the medium runners now, in a good position in P8, ahead of 4 soft runners.
I think Julius has had an issue there in sector 1. He's hit the wall, I think, and he's missing a good chunk of his front wing on the right-hand side there. So, Julius continuing to have a little bit of difficulties. He's been struggling in these races.
Yeah, but credit to him. He keeps it clean on track. He gets out of people's ways pretty well. As I say that, he gets out of people's way pretty well. He keeps it clean. He's using all of this time as practice time. He very rarely gives in, and you've got to give him a lot of credit for that in the end.
Yeah, Tipsy Bob, Ocean Chief on the back straight here. Let's see, Ocean got overtaken by Tipsy there, but yeah, he's choosing to stay behind Tipsy there. And I'm kind of surprised to see Tipsy Bob and Ocean Chief make that kind of a mistake to get a drive-through start. can't say I remember either of them really making that kind of a mistake before.
But now it might have been a chain reaction. Like one of them went, and the guys behind weren't watching the lights. They saw somebody move, and they just went automatically as well. And the guy went so early that it was just a chain reaction. That, you know what I mean? That's the only thing I can think of, to be honest. But yeah, it's very highly unusual. But remains to be seen now if these guys can catch up, because there's a gap now between Tipsy Bob and Gurla after those. After that pit stop, but Gurla managed to pick up a 5-second penalty in his drive-through.
Yep. So from bad to worse for Gurla with that penalty. Tilde actually made a move on Triton there, so he's up to P4 now. Triton easily following him for now, though. So let's see what happens there. So the top 3 have broken away from DRS at the moment, and yeah, Julius into the pits with to get at that new front wing.
No. So how long would you just say the pit stop here is? 25 seconds or so?
I think it's like 27, 28 seconds almost. So it's a very very long one, because it's only 60 kph, and then it's a pretty long way as well to go. So I think it's like something like 27 seconds. Oh, and Tipsy, no, that's Tilde actually running really wide there in that chicane that we've already talked about quite a bit.
Yeah. Rant on and complain about that chicane for hours on end, I'm sure. But Furious sets the fastest lap, so showing that he's not.
Triton and Tilde on the men's straight. I think he's gonna get him back. Actually, I think this. It's basically a repeat of the last lap, except Tilde was the overtaker at that point, and Tipsy setting the fastest lap at the in P11 there now. Yep. And let's see how much time did these guys actually lose? Like Sonny is 16 seconds from the leader, so it's somewhere between 15 and 20 seconds that they lost in that.
For the drive-through, yeah. You lose a little bit more if you stop to change the tires.
Yep.
But
yeah, it's gonna be a tall order for them to actually catch like Curse or Furiosus anyway, because we know those guys are not exactly slow either. Furiosus is actually really close to Curse here on the back straight, and he's gonna go on the outside. And yeah, he's gonna back out of that one for now at least. It's a really tricky corner to attack in, right? Because it's so tight on the entry.
Yeah, very easy to get chopped off, but very easy to force somebody into a mistake there as well. And obviously, if you can kind of put pressure on somebody into that corner, make what like what I was doing to Chief in Tier 4 a lot of the time into that corner, kept having to look up the inside and then not going for it, and it kind of ruins their day, ruins their plans, makes them think about something else other than the track, and you can push people to go wide a bit there, and it worked for me in the end, but obviously my right foot didn't.
Yeah, and Furious is actually deploying that same tactic that you were just talking about. He kind of shows his nose into turn 1, but not really committed into the move, so he's just playing a little bit of mind games with Curse here, so he's and really close to actually running to the back of him there in turn 4.
Now these 3 guys at the top, Easy at the moment, still sitting on 90%, 94% ERS. So he's just sitting pretty happy letting these guys work it out between themselves in front of him while he stores up energy for later on in the race. And that could prove vital for him. As we mentioned at the beginning of the race, ERS is pretty easy to recover here, but don't want to kind of overspend, because you kind of need to spend a lot of it to get past on these long straights.
Yeah, Furious made a bit of a mistake coming to the back straight there, but DRS pulls him back toward Curse. And then Triton kind of getting the move on now, because he's actually caught up a little bit onto this leading pack, about a half a second at least, and catching them even more in this final sector here.
Interestingly, Tipsy Bob's not catching Gurla or Sonny either. So they're kind of in their own race at the moment, kind of thing. Maybe moving, tightening up the field a bit.
As you said earlier to me on Discord when we talked about talked about this race prior. So if you watch Tipsy's
Easy's
basically
going for a move on I Am Furious, and he manages to get it done. Deploys plenty, and yeah, bit of bumping wheel to wheel there around turn 1, but Easy makes the move stick in the end.
They've lost a lot of time to Curse though. 1.8 now, the gap to.
Could cost them, but Easy certainly has a lot of ERS in the tank to close that gap quickly if he needs to, which he does.
What has happened at the back there? Hezi SX is off, and I think also has Torska been somehow involved in that? I'm not entirely sure what has happened there, but Hezi SX is definitely had a spin in turn 4, and does he have damage? He seems to have an intact front wing though, so could that just have been a spin or something? I didn't catch that on camera, unfortunately.
I didn't either, no, but yeah, he seems to be in all intact at the moment. He's off again though, and definitely not intact this time. I definitely saw an end plate fly that time, so maybe overheated his tyres a bit, didn't pay attention to that. But that's unfortunate. It was going well for Hezi this race so far. He was running well within the points.
Yep, and Sonny, as a result of that battle, maybe it was a battle with Torska or something, because Torska has lost quite a lot of time, and Sonny and Gerla are now all over the back of him. This is kind of Tipsy Bob's chance to catch up to this this train now.
These guys have got Julius in amongst them as well, who's obviously going to be causing a distraction and making things difficult. As people goes through him as they fight each other. They won't kind of want to do things, but Julius lapped already.
And Sonny definitely is going to go for a move here on Torska. Is Gerla going to try a move as well? I think he's too far back though to sort of take the same door here, and he's going to have to wait at least a couple of corners to get past Torska unless he deploys. Oh, and Gerla actually picks up a penalty. I saw that he cut the turn 2 apex a little bit too much.
Yeah, so that's 8 seconds as well, so he's going to have to serve 5 seconds in the pits. That's going to cost him a lot of time there as well, Gerla, but he does make a cheeky move up the inside of Torska there in the end. Yeah, and
Tipsy Bob kind of didn't quite manage to capitalize on that, because the Red Bulls just managed to overtake the Alpha Tauri of Torska quite easily there. So yeah, Tipsy is still out of DRS.
Looks like Kurz is managing that gap at the front as well, keeping Easy just out of arm's reach. Easy has spent a fair bit of his ERS to try and catch up, but nothing doing. And Furious and Triton now make up a train behind. Triton in with a really good chance here as well. All these guys, the top 4, currently in with a shout.
Yeah, and let's see who actually pulls the trigger here first with an undercut onto the mediums, because this is about in the range when you can start thinking about it, I think. So
yeah, this is when I pit this lap, and I'm surprised to see none of the guys at the back are going for that. The guys with the drive-throughs, guessing they just want to run longer on those soft tyres, get as most out of them.
Yeah, Tipsy's still actually stuck behind Torska here for another lap possibly. So yeah, Tipsy also kind of what I was about to say before was that the Red Bull boys have been actually managing to work together a bit and keep Tipsy at bay, and Tipsy's had to use a lot of ERS and not really being able to catch up that either. And as you said to me earlier on the on Discord before this race, it's quite important to try and manage that ERS, and when you're driving alone without DRS or any tow, it's really difficult.
Certainly is, but yeah, if you get in behind somebody who is just as quick or a little bit quicker than you, it's very easy to stay with them with the DRS and conserve resources as well, though. But there's not 27% at this stage of the race, Kennedy. This is the other thing about Russia. It's the worst thing in the world either. You will gain a good 30-40% through the pit stop, and if you manage it correctly later on and don't use much, you can still keep saving it up. So it's not like Singapore, for example, where once it's gone, it's gone. You can save some up
3 seconds
over a couple of laps.
Yeah, Tipsy's still stuck behind
Triton get 3 seconds as well, so big penalties there at its front running. But gaps forming at its front there now as well. So those penalties coming from mistakes by the looks of things.
Yeah, I think it's just sort of... I have to say that the track limits are quite strict here, and could this finally be the chance for Tipsy Bob to get past Torska? He's kind of been stuck behind him for 2 laps here, and it's cost him 3 seconds toward the Red Bull boys.
Easy move, and should be done and dusted before turn 1. And Easy, talking about Easy, he's managed to catch up to Kurz. So showing some real pace and consistency here to manage to do that.
Yeah, also,
they're both sitting about equal like ERS at the moment. Both keep this clean and avoid those penalties. It should be an interesting fight.
Yeah, and Easy also fairly new driver to the league. I believe yesterday in Tier 3 was his first race in the league, so nice to see another no assist guy on the track.
Yeah,
and he seems to be pretty fast as well, as you said.
Got Torska again being harassed from behind by one of these quick drivers with a drive-through as Ocean Chief has caught up. Barasin somehow still 12 seconds behind, so those mediums really did not work out for him so far, but he will obviously pass all these guys on the soft.
And
Bit of a lock up there. Chief manages to get the position.
The camera angle was absolutely horrible for me, but it looked like maybe Torska tried to close the door on Chief, but Chief just forcing his way through there. And Chief is gonna pit this lap as well. So.
Kurz in the pits also as well, as we see the first people to blink on the softs. Interesting to see everybody else staying out, knowing that the undercut has got some power around here. But Tipsy Bob, I would have thought, might have taken advantage of that undercut on these 2 Red Bull guys, but didn't.
Yeah, and I was kind of expecting him to do it a couple of laps ago, because he was kind of stuck behind Torska there, but obviously he has other plans on his mind, and Ocean Chief on to the mediums, and Kurz as well. Yeah.
We'll see exactly how powerful this undercut is, essentially, when we see where Kurz is in relation to Easy. Across
23 seconds, so maybe it is actually less than I was thinking, that gap. I might have been wrong with that, because I was kind of thinking it's 27 seconds, but it's only 23 that is behind.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, it's only 22, 23 seconds.
3 seconds for him, by the way. That's pretty huge. Crucial. Yep.
That's huge. That means he needs this undercut to really work out now, because he needs to clear DRS from Easy and hope that he can stay out of it. Easy is going to pit, so we'll see as he reacts to this undercut how much Kurz needs to do.
5 second
Easy
penalty.
5 second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well.
Oh no!
Red Bull boys. Interesting to see what they're going to do as well, because Sonny's stayed out and Gerla's pitting, so Sonny has to do an extra lap, making that undercut all the more powerful if those softs have fallen off. Sonny was in the lead, so I'm guessing that was his call.
And also Tipsy still staying out, so are these guys like fishing for a safety car or something? Because I think it's...
maybe.
I guess for Tipsy it would make sense, because he had that drive-through penalty, and maybe or both of them actually. So, I don't know. Maybe they're trying a long stint because of that or something.
Undercut did work in the end for Kurz, and Easy has picked up the penalty, the 5 second penalty as well. So it's worked out well for him in the end. He's got a good 2 second gap there from the undercut. So. See how powerful that undercut is there, worth at least a second and a half.
But Chief has also managed to make a very big undercut there on Gerla, because he's actually in right on the back of Gerla here, who's
but Gerla had a 5 second penalty to serve. Well,
yeah, so. That is true. That is true. So that's the explanation, of course. And we have a yellow flag, but I don't really see anything. Is that just Julius getting out of the way, maybe? Maybe.
Possibly. 2 cars ahead of him. Penalties sporadic across the grid, but a few people keeping it clean are going to hopefully gain big from that come the end.
Furiosa's pits as well, and then let's see what Sonny also into the pits, and I would guess that Tipsy Bob as well,
So all the soft runners coming in now, and this undercut is going to prove vital for those guys at the back, so I think Sonny might miss out quite a bit here, because Sonny was Fastest guy in qualifying. He was really charging through the grid after the early drive-through.
Yep, Kurz coming through and setting the fastest lap of the race there at the same time, and Easy actually losing a little bit of time here on those mediums against him, so maybe Easy struggling a bit to get into rhythm with those mediums. He had really good pace on the softs, but he's lost a little bit of time to Kurz now.
Yep, he doesn't have that DRS anymore. He picks up a 3-second penalty to add to his woes as well, so that's 8 seconds now, so that could be very costly for him come the end of the race. The moment that's going to cost him, you know, 2 positions at least.
Yeah, Sonny coming out of the pits 3.7 ahead of Gerla, so yeah, that 5-second penalty for Gerla of course has cost him quite a bit.
Yeah,
he did manage to drop Ocean Chief from DRS again though, so at least there's that. And then what's happening here? Tilde right in the back of Barassin here. But I think he might be too far back to do anything on the back straight. Yep. And wait a minute. So what has happened to Tipsy Bob, by the way? Because he's, or am I being old now or something? And I don't remember.
No,
but he's 18 seconds behind Chief.
Because I have no idea what happened to Tipsy. But something definitely did, because yeah, how is he all the way back there now? Because he was past Torska.
Yeah, and Kersey also going for it now. Is Tipsy, is he actually in the car? What is sort of going on here? I'm not really sure, but yeah, Tipsy's lost a lot of time. He's almost 20 seconds behind Chief now, so I'm not sure what has happened there. But yeah,
no idea.
Some trouble for Tipsy, because I don't know, he's had a horrible lap, and wing seems to be intact though, so I don't know.
Let me have a quick
217 point whatever on his lap there, so he's definitely had some major issue on this lap or the previous lap.
No incident.
Yeah, so one Kersey getting out of shape in turn 1.
Pit stop was 2.5 seconds, so maybe he got held up elsewhere in the pit.
20 seconds, yeah, I don't know. Weird one anyway, but he seems to, because he was ahead of Chief before the pit stop, and he's basically 20 seconds behind him now, so yeah, some trouble for our championship leader. Still got a chance.
Not going his way at the moment. P12 gonna have to get a shift on if he wants to get in a point even.
It's actually gonna be pretty difficult, isn't it? Because well, Barassin still has to pit, but he's gonna go in the softs, isn't he? And he's basically got the gap on him still. So yeah. Tilde fastest lap of the race, 34.8. It's good pace. Yeah.
Showing his pace, running well in P6 with no penalties at the moment. I don't want to curse the guy, but good going so far.
Yeah. And let's see if he can possibly close that gap to Triton, who has a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, he's certainly be aware of that with the new penalty system that you can see in game. But with Barassin still to pit as well, he's going to have Sonny for company very soon as well. So
yep. And Ocean Chief not really able to follow Gerla on track. He's 2.5 seconds behind him now. Ocean Chief doesn't have a penalty though, so that's something going in his direction. Triton picks up another one. That's 6 for Triton.
Yeah, they're starting to roll in a bit now. These penalties, track limits at Russia are pretty brutal at times. Lavi Fasol will be interesting to see how he can do. I mean, where's he going to come in? When's he going to come into the pit? I mean, next 3 or 4 laps, I imagine.
Yeah, I would guess. Yeah, I'd guess it would be really good to pit already at this point, isn't it? Because I think you can easily get the softs to the end as well. So.
I imagine he's going to come out at the moment between Sonny and Gerla around that kind of.
And Sonny
as well, so he should be very fast if he does come up between them.
Yeah, and Sonny overtakes Barassin. I think they're in the final sector, so Sonny up to P7. And Barassin behind him now, but Barassin also has to pit still, so yep, that's and also Finnish battle at the back of the field here, I think. Hesi SX and Kersey. Oh, and and Kersey is, oh my word, he was like sideways both ways there for a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, drifting out that tricky sector 3 that we've talked so much about.
Yep, rallycross. And yeah, he seems to be really struggling on those hards. On track.
Yeah, everybody looking at the penalties now at the moment kind of thing. 6 seconds for Barassin and Gerla. That's pretty big as well. Triton also on 6 seconds. Easy with his 8 seconds. Is going to lose out massively because of that. But yeah, at the moment, those guys who are keeping it clean could gain massively out of this. And I'm looking at Sonny and Tilda in particular. And Lavi Fasol, when he comes out behind Sonny, roughly, he could also be looking at a very strong finish because of the lack of penalty.
Yep. Certainly, and Lavi Fasol still doesn't pit, actually. I'm a bit surprised by that.
Hit the wall, and I don't know what happened. He's just got it wrong there in that tricky sector, and he's spun it right into a wall. And that's a virtual safety car.
I mean, Barassin might benefit a little bit of that.
Barassin is going to take the chance to pit as well. So, but Lavi Fasol doesn't get the option to do that. I don't think he was past the pits.
Yeah, he was already on the main straight when that happened. So
that's a fair bit of a shock. Came out of nowhere. He wasn't fighting with anybody. I think he just kind of that horrible camera on that corner bit him essentially. Got it a bit wrong and a bit of snap oversteer, and he speared right into the wall.
It's kind of a strange way though, because he was on the right hand side there. But yeah, I guess. Just I don't know, traction, grip, whatever, lost it, and Julius picks up a drive-through penalty for not following the delta.
Yeah,
and somebody else
Julius,
as well, Tipsy Bob
and Tipsy Bob all got a drive-through penalty, so it goes from bad to worse for Tipsy in this race.
Yeah, Tipsy is a real shocker.
Another drive-through. This is very rare for him as well. Usually this guy is the epitome of cool, calm and collected, and this race has just been the total opposite. It's just an very... Well, I'm not sure if we've stepped into the twilight zone here in Russia, or something like that, but everything's gone backwards, back to front, inside out. I'm not really sure what to make of any of this.
Yeah, Tipsy Bob first of all getting that jump start at the start, getting one drive through, then having I don't know whatever happened to him on that outlap where he lost 20 seconds, and then picks up another drive through on the VSC, so yeah, this is really weird.
Lavi Fasol does pit in the end, at the end of that lap, so maybe he won't lose too much after the VSC if people have lost some time to it.
It's gonna be close with Gerla and Chief, I think. Gerla
coming on the final corner now as Lavi Fasol exits the pit.
Yeah, Gerla should be able to get him at least, but with Ocean Chief it's gonna be quite close. Oh well, he's gonna be just between them apparently.
Yeah, P7, and on the freshest tyre, the fastest tyre out of everybody on track.
Didn't really quite manage to turn the car into turn 1, so that might have been a warning for him, but yeah, gets away with it anyway.
Yeah. As long as he stays away from that all-important penalty, he should do well. Come the end, he's going to jump Gerla for sure. He's probably going to get him on track with those better tyres, you'd imagine.
Oh, and we have some
yellow in sector 2, Mercedes off.
Is that Curse actually? Wow, what has happened to him? So he's spun it in onto the back straight, coming onto the back straight. So he's got his front wing intact, but that's cost him massively. Oh no, he's basically lost the lead of the race there, and he's now 6 seconds behind Furiosus.
Not sure what happened there. So I don't know how many times people are willing to give up the lead of this race, but it doesn't seem like anybody wants to win this one.
Yeah, and so who is actually like leading this race at the moment? It is
winning the race at the moment. Yeah, it's as it is on track at the moment kind of thing. Everybody's made their pit stops kind of thing. So yeah, he's got Furious for company, or a second and a half behind, but Kurz after that spin, 6 seconds off the back of that, is going to be struggling to hold on. But I mean, with the penalties, Sonny is
Yeah,
still within a shout of winning.
Oh, and there's another incident somewhere at the back. So Kersey's really not enjoying those hards. He spun in turn 4, and yeah, he's unfortunately not a very strong race for him today. But yeah, I've got some explanation in the chat now why Tipsy Bob is not doing so well. So apparently Kitsune hasn't fed him in 3 days.
That sounds like animal cruelty.
Yeah. Indeed.
Certainly sounds
Oh, when Furiosus picks up another penalty, so he's as you were saying, nobody really wants to win this race. He's
yeah, basically. I mean, at the moment,
it's like Sonny is actually in a really good position here if he can clear Tilde and keep this kind of pace up. He's deploying everything on the back straight, and he's gonna go for it on Tilde, and this should be a pretty easy move for him. Yeah, he's well past him before the corner already. So Sonny up to P4. Let's see, how far is he actually? 10 seconds from the lead of the race, and the leader has an 8-second penalty.
So he's got 2 seconds to make up for that, but he's got 4, like,
yeah,
going to make up 5-6 seconds or so in the last 7-8 laps that we've got remaining. So it's a tall order, but the win's there for him to take, I think. And yeah, he's on a charge at the moment, you have to say. He's putting in some very good laps. And has left his teammate behind dead after the pit stop, you have to say, as well. They were running, Gerla and Sonny running close all through this race, and then, yeah, Sonny's just decided, nah, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, and Lavi Fasole actually putting some pressure on Gerla now for P6 on the track. Both of them have, oh, Gerla actually has 6 seconds, so Lavi Fasole is ahead of him actually in on the delta anyway. Or whatever you want to call it, like on time.
It's a shame for Lavi Fasole to pick up that, because that it's going to might cost him a position to Tilde in the end of the race.
And what is that? Is that
Gerla's
Julius?
very wide there.
Yeah, Julius has had an issue there at the back, but anyway, yep, let's get back to this action.
Yeah, Gerla went very, very wide out of turn 4. It's a tricky one, that turn 4, but doing his utmost to defend this by the looks of things, but don't think he's going to be able to do it on this back straight, because Lavi Fasole, within 2/10, DRS is going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, and he's deploying and also going on the inside, and he should be basically ahead of him before the corner. And now what Lavi Fasole needs to do is to try and drop Gerla away from that DRS range, put those softs to work.
Yep, shouldn't prove particularly difficult.
And Gerla's
tyres.
mistake.
I think, how long has Gerla had his tyres for? 7 laps now, so they're not in pristine condition anymore. And Lavi Fasole's 2 laps in, they're pretty new still. The question is, can he close the gap and overtake Tilde? He needs to do that on track now, because he's picked up that penalty.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Gerla managing to close that gap a little bit with DRS on the main straight, so let's see if he can possibly hold on to that. Ocean Chief in P8 at the moment. He doesn't have a penalty, so he's still in striking distance of Gerla at the moment. But kind of drifting away from him a little bit all the time. So I don't know. Let's see what Chief can do.
Tighten that gap, I think, because if he can tighten that gap, he might be able to take advantage of the penalties further up the field as well. A lot of these guys are going to be thinking that as we come into the last sector of this race, essentially, the last third of this race. So
yeah, and Sonny has actually managed to close that gap to 9.2 already, so he's or 9.4 actually, so it was momentarily 9.2, but he's caught up a little bit again, but he's still gonna make 3 seconds on Furiosus, right? So
yeah, something like that. He's still got a lot of work to do to get the win of this race, and he hasn't got any ERS to play with anymore either, so he's going to find it difficult to spend that, and he hasn't managed to drop Tilde from DRS either, although Tilde gets a very bad exit there out of turn, the final turn, and that drops him well out of DRS.
Yeah, and he's
helps Sonny out quite a bit, relieves some pressure.
Yep, and Sonny back to chasing the gap, and actually there is a chance change for the lead of the race. The Williams boys are fighting hard for the lead of the race, and Furiosus actually takes the lead on track now. And he's gonna try to. I'm sure he's aware of Sonny in P4. He's gonna see him on the standings on his screen and see that he needs to keep Sonny, what is it, 6 seconds away at least?
Yep, 6 seconds. So Sonny's got 2.5 seconds or so to make up as it stands at the moment. But he will get a podium, which is a terrific drive from him, you have to say.
Yep.
From the drive-through to the podium. At the moment, as it stands, yeah, you'll overtake Kurz and Easy and get P2. Fair.
Yeah, Gerla just about to drop out of DRS and gets a 3-second penalty as well, so that's 9 seconds for Gerla already. And yeah, he's really struggling into the final sector then, and I think he's gonna drop out of the DRS range of Lavi Fasole as a result of that mistake.
Yeah.
And again, kind of drifting there in the chicane.
There are a lot of people struggling with that chicane. We talked at length about it. Seems we might have been right to do so, because it's proven to be an integral part of this race. Yeah, very, very nasty corner. Looks like most of the drivers on the grid today hate it just as much as I do.
Sonny hasn't really been able to make much of a headway on this lap toward Furiosa, so the gap is still over 8 seconds.
Yeah, Furious extending the gap to Easy at the moment as well. So it's like Furious still has some pace left in his tyres as well.
Yeah, and he's managed to drop Easy from DRS range just about now. So
yeah, it looks like he's going to drop him. So that's going to make things even more difficult for Sonny to clinch the win.
And somehow Easy still got DRS there. Weird. Maybe that was just I'm just not exactly sure where is the detection point there, but he gets it at least once.
Okay. But yeah, he's starting to catch up quite a bit, but yeah, it drops immediately back. It was up to 6/10 then, goes immediately back down to a second. So he's struggling with Furious's pace at the moment, and their teammates on track. But are they teammates in terms of will Easy slow up Sonny if he can?
I think both of them are actually like reserves, so I guess this is gonna be free for all, both of them. But yeah, HesiSX had a bit of an issue there, so he's got front wing damage, and he's probably gonna have to pit again. No
DRS for the back straight for Easy this time.
Nope.
But the gap is coming down between Sonny and the leader. 7.9 seconds now, so 1.9 seconds to go. Looks like Sonny really knows what he's got to do at the moment, and he's pushing as hard as he can.
So he needs to do about 3 or 4 tenths a lap right to really get into that range.
Soon he's going to be in DRS of Kurz as well, so he's going to have to get past Kurz quickly, and the DRS hopefully will help him catch up even further as well. But to get the feeling if he can get past Kurz, he could get within that 6 seconds.
And only 3 guys on track at the moment who haven't picked up a penalty today, and yeah, that's
Shaka, Chief, and Sonny. Yeah, Shaka and Chief went round for that. Being clean, and looks like Chief will certainly gain Gerla's position, but I don't know if he's close enough to Lavi Fasole until to gain theirs.
No, I think he's too far back. So.
But Sonny, of course, is going to be the huge winner. As long as he doesn't pick up a penalty, which I'm sure he's well aware of. But, yeah.
Sonny also drifting there in the chicane, like everybody else today. So.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody who hasn't had a single struggle like with that corner. It's caused problems throughout.
Still just about outside of DRS for to Kurz, and he's 8 seconds now to 7.9 again, so it's about the same this lap. He didn't really gain anything there. I think that mistake in the final sector in the chicane cost him a bit on this lap. So.
Yeah, but still looks as though it's steadily falling, but not quite fast enough. 3 laps remaining, isn't it? So, not a lot of time left for Sonny to clinch the win, but
And
second place is almost certainly his.
Girl at 12 seconds already, so that's. I mean,
how hard is Kurz going to fight Sonny here as well? That's another question.
Yeah, Sonny, I think might get DRS this lap if he can be close enough here through the double left-hander, and then toward the back straight. He's. Yeah, I wonder if he did get it. He just about got it. Yeah,
and I think he just got it.
Yeah. So Kurz is. Sorry, Sonny is going to be able to close on Kurz. He's too far back this occasion, of course, but maybe on the main straight.
Yep. If you get the DRS down here, you close up massively, and the lock up there from Kurz into this tricky sector. Kurz now under pressure in this sector.
Yep, there's a lapped car ahead of them, so this might actually give Kurz DRS once here on the straight.
Julius gets out of the way too early.
Yeah, where's the detection point actually here?
The detection point on the main straight is just before the activation point. It's yeah, Julia's not doing Kurz any favours there, but bad exit there for Sonny.
Yep, he got a bit of a snap of oversteer on the power, and couldn't really put the power down as quickly as he would have liked. So no overtake for Sonny on this time around, and Sole actually overtakes Tilde now. So
yeah, so he's putting his tyres to excellent use. In the end, and grabs that extra position that he lost for the penalty.
Yeah, and I think he's also, I don't want to curse anybody here, but Lavi Fasole definitely his best race of the season so far. So
yeah, top 5 finish. Not seen him up there as far as I can remember, but Sonny at the moment 8 seconds off the leader. He's getting held up now by Kurz. It's not doing him any favours. He needs to get past. And it doesn't look as though he's going to be able to do it.
Deploying now, though. He should be able to do this. He's got a lot of.
Yeah, now it looks like Kurz got a horrible exit out of that one.
And Tipsy Bob retires into pit lane, and yeah, Sonny makes that move. So Kurz, as you said, got a very bad exit onto that back straight, and that allowed Sonny to get through. And what is the gap actually? 7 seconds. So he's only, what is it, second away from the win here.
Yeah, so he's got to get a shift on now at the moment, kind of thing. And I wonder if Kurz kind of just let him pass there because of that, let him go for the win, kind of thing. Or whether or not he just wanted to get the DRS down this straight. We've got a yellow flag down here on this straight. I think it's Tipsy Bob in the pits.
Yep,
retiring.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, he had enough not being his race, but he's deploying here. Kurz getting very close to the back of Sonny, but picks up a penalty. Again, so that means that Lavi Fasol has got work to do this lap now as well. That he's seen that extra penalty. He's only got a second and a half to make up in the last 2 laps on Kurz to steal P4.
Yeah, could he possibly do that? He's about a little bit over a second away from doing that at the moment. Kurz, of course, has that toe from Sonny, and what is the gap now? So it's 6.9. Sonny needs to find a second somewhere on these final 2 laps to win this race.
Oh, big snap of oversteer there for Kurz, and he's fallen off the back a little bit there.
Yeah, and he's still gonna get DRS here at least, so he will be able to close that gap on the back straight. Sonny also completely out of battery on the back straight here. So both of them, Sonny might be, I wonder if it's gonna be just enough to, or just too much for Sonny to catch that 1 second.
Did Barassan get Chief on track? I think he did.
That's kind of also out of nowhere. We haven't really picked that up, but yeah, he went on the softs at the end, and he's overtaken Chief. He's got 9 seconds though, so Chief should have him covered on penalties.
Yeah, but I think still gets to keep his points because gap to P10 is quite large. 21 seconds to Torska, and another 29 out of the points.
Kurz once again getting close to Sonny on the main straight there with DRS, but I guess he's kind of not really interested in making a move either. He's got 6 seconds, so he's sort of got nothing to gain here.
Yeah, it's
maybe
too
trying
much
to
of a
force
risk,
Sonny into maybe just force him into a mistake.
He just
or
wants
something.
to hang on the back of Sonny and steal some of his pace with the DRS. Essentially, he doesn't want to take any risks at this stage, I suppose, Kurz. But We are talking about a man who crashed at the very last corner, the very last lap. He did it at what is known now colloquially as a kebab.
Yeah.
In Singapore. He thought he was the original, but no, I did it all the way back in Bahrain. I was the OG, and Kurz almost does it last lap there, as he almost slams it into the wall on the back straight, but Sonny doesn't look like he's got it in. He's got 8/10 to make up in the last sector. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. But a splendid, stupendous drive from him still, nonetheless, to get back to P2.
Yeah, and we're actually down to the final two corners of the race for the leader here. So Furiosus, I'm calling him Furiosus, even though he's called actually Furious nowadays, like Action here. But he's across the line and he's got to win this race. I think Sonny doesn't quite have that 7/10 somewhere in this final sector. So Sonny is gonna go into P2, but he's 7/10 away from winning this race in the end. And that's after a drive-through penalty at the start. So a very, very strong fight back for Sonny.
Yeah, got to give him my driver of the day, I have to say. A great recovery from the drive-through, and so close to almost winning it. Got to give it to him. Lots of great overtakes within that as well from him as well. So.
Yep, Ocean Chief jumps a couple of positions at the end there. So Gerla and Barassin on penalties, he gets them, and he's in P7. And Lavi Fasole didn't quite manage to close that gap to Kurz, but P5 for him still, so that's definitely his season best result, I think.
Yeah, worth an honourable mention there for the driver of the day as well, because he did jump 8 positions, the most out of anybody on the grid. I Am Furious did extremely well to win the race, but I got the feeling that winning the race is congratulations enough.
Yep.
Essentially.
Yeah, I would agree.
Great job to him as well. I suppose he's got to thank Easy for letting him through and not fighting him too hard.
Yep.
As if he had a choice in the matter, I suppose.
Yep. Shakalaka also across the line in P11. A tricky race for him today, and then Hezi SX will be the last guy to cross the line here, as Kersey and Julius have been lapped in this race. So Hezi SX through the final corner runs up this race in P12.
Yeah. Very exciting. I'm still not sure what I've been hit with there, to be honest. What a race! Like, I mean, I don't really know what happened.
It was so weird though. Like, it's like so many.
I can't remember all the way back in lap 1 when there was 4 or 5 drive-throughs. Like, it seems so long ago. But it was a very, very interesting one. Very odd in very many ways. And we did get a new winner. Tipsy Bob called that at the beginning. He thought we were going to see a new winner, and we did.
Yeah.
Fresh podium altogether, I think. And congratulations to all those drivers who made it. Easy, particularly, did very well to keep it on the podium.
Just think about if he didn't pick up that. Well, he actually still wouldn't have won the race even if he didn't pick up that 5-second penalty in the pit lane. But would have been close. Yeah. So, I guess we kind of agreed here that Sonny should be our driver of the day for that amazing comeback drive, and he made that one mistake at the start, huge mistake if I may say so, but he after that he didn't put a foot wrong and somehow fought his way back to P2. No penalties either for him.
No penalties at all, which certainly helped his cause as well, and Lavi Fasole as well are definitely an honourable mention. P13 and P5, great race from him.
Yeah, and only one other kayak actually, along with Sonny, didn't get a penalty, and that was Shakalaka in P11. So, yep.
The two guys who we thought were going to dominate this tier are last and second last, but the only two guys to DNF the entire race. So yeah, very interesting, very, very interesting in the end. We think we agreed we were going to do interviews for NA because it's late.
I think it's like 15 past 11 for me, so I think we are gonna wrap it up here. So next week we have what do we have? Suzuka, don't we?
Suzuka, yeah, gonna be tricky without the old lines.
Yeah.
But, hopefully we'll have a commentator that can race in that one next week.
Yep, and it's I think we should get a commentator and get you on track. That will be one of my priorities anyway for the coming week. So, but yeah, thanks Kebab for helping out today.
No worries. Always happy to help.
Yep.
Now that I don't do a regular slot anymore, it's nice and easy. Nice to get to brush up on the old commentating skills, keep them fresh, sharp.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for today, I suppose. So good.
Yeah, thanks
good
very much for
Russian-
watching.
Good Russian GP, and then maybe just to close it up here, we still of course have Tier 1 tomorrow. So the real aliens with no assists as well, but close to esports pace, I would say. So tune in for that at what is it, 18:15 CEST.
Yeah.
And yeah, F2 as well in the evening. So yeah, anyway, plenty of racing to come here on EGL this weekend, to SRL Tier 1 and 2 on Sunday as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go on forever here unless I stop it now. So
I was wondering, I was waiting. It was like it's like two lovers, young lovers on the phone. Neither one wants to hang up. I don't want to leave you either, Ice. I don't want to leave you.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Kebab. Thank you, all the viewers. Hope you had fun. We definitely did, and we'll see you again in a week's time. Thanks and good night.